tremor was subtle, almost imperceptible. Chen registered it as a phantom vibration through the deck plating, a trick of the damaged diagnostics relays. He blinked, the throbbing in his temple the dull counterpoint to the swelling nausea. Reyes had been meticulously running diagnostics on the process's emergency power core, a necessary evil considering the prolonged comms blackout. The silence from Kepler 186f had stretched beyond acceptable parameters, bordering on a system-wide panic trigger. Anything, Reyes? Chen's voice was rough, strained. He leaned against the corroded console, the taste of recycled protein paste clinging to his tongue. Reyes didn't respond. The silence wasn't unusual. Reyes was a meticulous worker, prone to long periods of focused concentration. But the tremor wasn't a standard processor event. Chen pushed himself upright, his legs protesting with a familiar ache. The control room was a cramped, metallic coffin, the air thick with the smell of ozone and decay. A viewport offered a distorted view of the alien forest pressing in on the processor, a dense, unnervingly quiet wall of towering flora. It felt like the trees were observing them. Reyes, Chen repeated, louder this time. He saw Reyes hunched over a diagnostics terminal, his shoulders rigid. The technician's lower lip was caught between his teeth, a nervous habit Chen had observed since the mission began. Core integrity at 73%, Reyes mumbled, not looking up. Power fluctuations, unusual harmonic resonance. Explain, Chen commanded, the nausea intensifying. Reyes finally looked up, his eyes wide with a fear that didn't quite register as logical. The resonance, it's coming from outside, Lieutenant. Through the hull. Before Chen could respond, the lights flickered violently. The viewport shimmered, distorting the forest into a grotesque tapestry of alien shapes. A low, guttural hum permeated the control room, vibrating in Chen's very bones. Report. Chen barked, fighting the wave of dizziness threatening to overwhelm him. Reyes' fingers flew across the terminal, his face illuminated by the flickering screen. Hull integrity dropping, structural harmonics mirroring the external resonance. Then Reyes froze. His eyes lost focus, his body stiffening. Chen saw a vacant expression settle over his face, the same unsettling emptiness he's seen in deactivated combat drones. Reyes, what's wrong? Chen reached out, but Reyes flinched away as if burned. The guttural hum intensified. Thorne, who had been silently monitoring from a shadowed corner, straightened. He hadn't spoken a word since they'd arrived at the processor, radiating an unnerving detachment. He is listening, Thorne said, his voice unnaturally smooth, almost melodic. The words seemed to bypass Chen's ears and resonate directly within his mind. Chen frowned, struggling to place the inflection. Thorne's speech patterns were normally clipped and terse, devoid of any nuance. Listening to what? Thorne's gaze shifted to the viewport, to the forest, to the song. Chen's vision blurred. He swayed, fighting to maintain his balance. Thorne, report. Thorne's lips curved into a strange, unsettling smile. The forest, it offers understanding. It offers peace. Chen stumbled backward, his hand finding purchase on the cold metal of the console. The throbbing in his temple spiked, radiating outwards like a supernova. He needed to regain control, to assess the situation, but the world felt wrong. He glanced at Reyes. The technician's eyes were unfocused, his body subtly swaying to the rhythm of the humming. A faint, jade-green glow emanated from his skin, barely perceptible in the dim light. Reyes, snap out of it, Chen shouted, desperately trying to break through whatever trance was holding the technician captive. Reyes didn't respond. He simply smiled, a vacant, almost beatific expression on his face. He has joined us, Reyes whispered, his voice echoing with a resonance that wasn't entirely his own. Chen felt a surge of panic, cold and sharp. He needed to raise a distress signal to alert Kepler 186f to their predicament, but his limbs felt heavy, unresponsive. The nausea intensified, twisting his stomach into knots. He tried to access the comms panel, but his fingers fumbled with the controls. The panel sparked, spitting out a shower of metallic fragments. "Comms are down," he muttered, his voice barely audible. The jade-green glow intensified, spreading across Reyes' skin like a creeping vine. Thorne began to move with a fluid, hypnotic grace, his limbs swaying to the rhythm of the humming. "It is time," Thorne whispered, his voice laced with an unearthly serenity. "It is time to listen." Chen tried to resist, to fight back against the encroaching darkness, but he felt himself weakening, succumbing to the insidious influence. The room seemed to tilt, the viewport blurring into a kaleidoscope of alien shapes. He saw Reyes turn to him, his eyes glowing with an unnatural luminescence. Reyes raised a hand, his fingers extending towards Chen like grasping vines. "Join us," Reyes whispered, his voice a haunting echo of his former self. Chen recoiled, his vision narrowing. He felt a searing pain erupt in his temple, followed by a wave of overwhelming darkness. He collapsed onto the deck plating, his consciousness fading. The last thing he heard was Thorne's voice, calm and reassuring, echoing in his mind. Peace awaits. The processor continued its silent vigil, nestled within the suffocating embrace of the alien forest. The humming intensified, a mournful song carried on the wind. Reyes and Thorne stood together, bathed in the jade green glow, their eyes fixed on the towering trees. The forest had claimed them, absorbing them into its silent, ancient consciousness. The forest waited,